We started our day with an early wake-up call, gathered for a quick breakfast, packed all of our things, and then met in the lobby so we could head out to our final destination. We got delayed a couple times, but eventually we are in our vans and on our way to the desert. We drove for hours, further and further into the desert. The further out we got, there was more sand and less people. Surprisingly, even in the middle of the desert, they still had rest areas for gas and food. After driving for a few more hours, we came to our lunch destination, which was at a Bedouin home. Our food consisted of authentic Bedouin dishes that were prepared on site by the homeowners. Like many places in Egypt, we ate while sitting on the floor. After lunch, we loaded up into our off-road vehicles so we could drive even further out into the desert. Entering the Black Desert region was like stepping into another world, with volcanic-shaped mountains resembling a scene from Star Wars. The mounds of the Black Desert vary in size, composition, height, and shape, as some are dark, consisting of iron quartzite, while others are more reddish, as its surface rocks consist of iron sandstone. Myself and some of the other group members took the opportunity to climb to the top of one of the mounds. The views at the top were incredible, and you could see for miles in every direction. Our next destination was into the White Desert. Entering this region was again like entering another world. The area gets its name from large white chalk rock formations created through erosion by wind and sand. We made a quick pit stop to check out an area that had an abundance of calcite crystals. I made sure to pick up a few small ones to bring home as souvenirs. Eventually, we made it to an area that had huge rock formations sticking out of the sand. I took the time to climb to the highest mound I could find so I could get a breathtaking view of the landscape. Of course, a trip to the desert wouldn't be complete without trying sandboarding. It's harder than it looks, and the downside is, once you get to the bottom of the hill, you have to hike all the way back up through sand. It was still a ton of fun though. Just as the light was about gone, we arrived to where we were going to camp out for the night. Our Bedouin guide set up the camp super fast in almost complete darkness. Dinner was prepared and consisted of chicken, rice, fresh vegetables, soup, potatoes, and more. This was probably the best meal that I had the entire trip. After eating, we settled in next to the fire for a night of Bedouin music and dancing before camping out under the stars. We had a 4 a.m. wake-up call for breakfast, which consisted of fresh fruit, pastries, and yogurt. After we finished, our guides tore down camp, and we headed back to Cairo. On our way back, we stopped at the rock formation named the Chicken and the Mushroom. Halfway back, our vehicle blew a tire and we were temporarily stranded in the middle of the desert. Fortunately, our guide was able to switch out the tire very quickly and we got back on our way. We finally made it back to the Cairo airport and said our goodbyes to the part of the group that was going on the extra part of the trip. The group of us that were flying home the next day booked hotel rooms at the Meridian Hotel next to the airport. After spending the night in the desert, it was nice to get back to some modern amenities like the pool, a hot shower, and restaurants. After grabbing lunch, we hung out at the club lounge and watched an Arabic wedding reception that was just starting before heading back down for dinner a little bit later. The rest of my group had earlier flights than I did, so they headed over to the airport early. I went up to my room for the night to get a good night's rest. The next morning, I checked out of the room, and the hotel helped shuttle me over to the airport security. I made it through security and headed to my gate to catch my flight back to JFK. Once I landed in New York, I grabbed everything from baggage claim and started the drive back home to Pennsylvania.